Welcome to this video. If in the event that this actually ends up on my channel, that is only through the graciousness of the kind woman who is involved. This is totally different than any other video that I've done on this channel, but it is definitely something that I've been very, very interested in ever since I was little. I am working on a bigger documentary about this kind of thing, but for a little bit of practice and some feedback from the viewers, again, provided that this actually does make it onto the channel, I welcome criticism and openly, like just criticize away. So one of the reasons why I felt like doing this kind of video would be beneficial, it's mostly just for the person involved, the kind lady who was noticing something going on at her house a little bit after she had moved in. She's actually a good friend of mine, somebody that I've known for years and years, and I knew that when she was claiming that stuff was going on at her house, that it was potentially real, rather than sensationalized or just kind of being hyped up by your own senses and experiences and that kind of thing. So this video is strictly pretty much for her to look at the evidence that I was able to find and put together. And again, like I said, if it makes it on YouTube, then you know what, in the spirit of Halloween in October and all that, it's like the perfect time to put a video like this out. And also, for those of you who are like new to the channel and were not aware of the big project that I'm working on, it's a documentary on the ghosts of Carmel, Maine, which is a YouTube channel. And I went out to Maine with a good friend of mine, Luke Millette, who was also responsible for the series called Ghost Tapes. That's another thing that you can look up on YouTube. So yeah, Ghosts of Carmel, Maine, Ghost Tapes, those are things that if you're into paranormal stuff, go check those guys out. Very interesting stuff, and the stuff that I found at the Carmel, Maine house was just very, very cool. Very cool. I can't wait to get that out. Anyway, for this video, let's get started with the EVPs. We did EVP work. We also did spirit box work with a method called the Estes method, and I'll get into that when those segments come up. So the first clip that I have here is actually pretty much right at the beginning of our EVP session. I highly encourage you to wear headphones for these. I can do my best to try and make it as audible as I can for TV speakers or a surround sound system and all that, but really when it comes to EVP work and all this stuff, your best bet is to put on headphones. So pause the video right now, grab your earbuds, grab your noise canceling headphones, grab your gaming headset, headphones, whatever it is that you're using to watch this with. So in this first clip, what we're going to hear is a few different things, and I'd like to really just kind of not say what it is that I hear, and then we'll play the clip, and then I'll interject here again, and then we'll play the clip again, knowing what it was that I thought I heard. I wanted to make sure to wait, before I put up the captions, because I don't want to do the whole idea of like suggestion, and then you hear, because I suggested it. Sometimes there's no getting around that, but I want to give it to you as raw as I can before giving you my own conclusions. I hope that's fair. So here's the first clip. Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your name? So, what was it that you were listening for? I hear three different things. I hear what sounds to be kind of like like a gasp or something along those lines, like some sort of an expressive breath. And then I hear a woman say, "Don't say anything," and it's like a whisper. She says, like, "Don't say anything." And as she's saying that, an orb falls from the ceiling. Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your name? I'm very much on the fence about orbs. Orbs can be so many different things, but I mean, when I see orbs in videos, I'm always like, that's nothing to me. I can't even with this. Why are you showing me an orb? Like, it's dust. It's dust. But what I've noticed in my previous experience, especially at the house in Carmel, Maine, dust kind of hangs through the air. And I mean, it will move as quickly as, say, the air around it is moving. I mean, that's how dust works. When you have dust that's moving extremely fast, then at that point it seems to me that it's no longer dust. I don't know if it's an orb. It was just interesting because it just pops into frame for a little bit and then it completely disappears. And it's also at the same time that I'm hearing the "don't say anything." In this clip, it's a very quick sound again. I don't know what it is saying, if it's saying anything, but here's the clip. All right, now here's the clip again with captions. Again, I don't know what they're saying, so it's just question marks. And I'm going to play it a few times for you, so here we go. What is that? I don't know, but it sounds like it's in the room with us, and it also sounds kind of strange. It doesn't sound like a normal voice. There's just, when it comes to these EVPs, I've noticed that they have like a very strange, almost like a phasing sound to it. When things are out of phase, it has a weird sound. And I'm not sure if that's where these voices kind of hang around, because I know that they're just under a frequency or above. I would say probably above a frequency than we can hear. And that also explains why when you hear certain EVPs, like say someone's got an EVP in a mausoleum. Mausoleums usually made of like marble and granite and stone, those kinds of things, and the echo in those things are just remarkable. The reverb is insane. And a lot of times when you hear EVPs in buildings like that, you can hear the room respond to it. And the reason why is because even though the sound is just out of our frequency of hearing, the room is still going to respond as it would with any sound. So it is actually deflecting or bouncing around off of the room, but we just can't hear it because it's at a frequency that we can't hear. So like if you were to take a dog whistle and you were to have a camera that were actually able to pick up that dog whistle, and you were to go into a room like that, a mausoleum, and blow into that whistle, it will bounce around the room just the same as it would as if it was an audible sound that we could hear. Just because we can't hear it doesn't mean that the physics of the room no longer exist. I hope that makes sense. All right, so this next clip is a little strange because it seems to me that there's a little bit more than just one person speaking back to us. So here's the clip.
Do you live here? What's the date? Do you live here? What's the date? Do you live here? What's the date?
All right, now here's the clip again with captions, and what I'm hearing is more than one spirit responding to her question. Sometimes they're a little bit more audible than others, but I'm definitely hearing what I'm putting up here on the screen for you. So here it is again.
Do you live here? What's the date? Do you live here? What's the date? Do you live here? What's the date? Do you live here? What's the date?
The interesting thing about the response was it seems like a woman asking back, what's the date? As if, why are you asking me that? So the lady asks, what's the date? And then the voice says, what's the date? So it's almost like confused, like, I don't know why you're asking me that. Of course it's 1913.
Do you live here? What's the date?
Okay, so in this clip, I hear a few different voices. I'm not going to tell you what I think they say right away. Again, I just want you to have an unbiased opinion. I don't want to persuade you in one way or the other. But here's what here's the clip.
Are you mad that I'm here? Are you mad that I'm here? Are you mad that I'm here?
What I'm hearing is I'm hearing a few different voices saying yes after she asks her question. So there's a yes, and then there's another yes, and then there's the final yes. The final yes is very clear. It's almost like right up next to the camera, and it's whispery. All of these voices are whispery. I don't know why ghosts choose to whisper all the time.
Are you mad that I'm here? Are you mad that I'm here? Are you mad that I'm here? Are you mad that I'm here?
All right, so this clip is interesting to me because the owner of the home and I are still upstairs. This is the same session that you guys have seen the past clips from. Same session. We're still up there. I believe I had asked something like, if there's anybody here and you can you make a sound or something like that, just trying to get a response. And we're sitting there in the quiet, just kind of waiting for something to happen. And the camera picked up what sounds to be like a conversation. It seems that someone is speaking. They're talking to each other, and I can't quite make out what they're saying. I can hear the beginning and I can hear the end, but what's in between, I don't know. It's very clear to me that at the beginning of this clip, she says yes, and at the end of the clip, she says no. But in between, I don't know what's going on. It definitely sounds like she says yes, and then there's another voice that's kind of whispery and responding to her, and she's saying something back. That's why there's these question marks, because I'm hearing sibilants, like S's and T's and those kinds of things coming through. Sibilants. I'm hearing that kind of pop up here and there, but I definitely hear the yes at the beginning, and I definitely hear that no at the end. All right, so this is a session with a spirit box. It's a standard SB7 spirit box. These are very popular. You see them on all those stupid paranormal shows. What we're doing is something called the Estes method, and that's kind of really making its way around, very, very popular right now to do this. And it was made popular by the documentary called Hellier. It was the first group that I've ever seen do something like this. And what you do is you have a spirit box, and then you put headphones into the spirit box, and you wear the headphones while somebody else is asking questions. The reason why is because when you're asking questions aloud with a spirit box in the traditional sense, you're kind of setting yourself up for responses. So if you ask something like, "What's your name?" your mind is going to be set on trying to hear a name. Harry, Matilda, Bradford, whatever that name may be, you're expecting to hear a name. So that what the Estes method does is it negates all of that by me wearing headphones and closing my eyes. I don't know. I'm facing away from the homeowner. I don't know what the questions are that she's asking. She's talking kind of softly, so that I can't hear her. And the responses that we're getting were contextual. We're kind of left to speculate what they mean. But here is one session of the Estes method where I'm in the headphones.
What is the date?
Constantly. I've been here.
Okay. How many years have you been here?
Cradle. John.
John Clyde?
Right.
Is this Marguerite? Is your name Marguerite?
My dad does. Hi.
Hi.
I mean, the first thing I say is something like, "Constantly, I've been here." When I say constantly, you can see that the homeowner is kind of like, this doesn't make any sense. But then when I say I've been here, you can kind of see it in her face that, oh, okay, so you're saying you've been here for a long time. And she asks, "How long have you been here?" And I say, "Cradle." And that's, I mean, obviously I've been here since I was a baby, but they're using like one-worded, answers. That was really interesting to me. And then I brought up a name, which is John. But of course, John is a very common name. But what was interesting is after I said John, and then she responds with the property owner's name, John so-and-so, I say right. And then, I don't know, it just seems very, I don't know. And then there's the comment about my dad, I think I put on here. I think that's on here. My dad was, or something like that. I think what's happening is it's possible that the spirit, if that's what's happening, if we're talking to a spirit, this was the child of whoever this John person was that, she made the connection with there. All right, so this next clip is specifically just an audio clip. The camera wasn't running. We had moved down to the basement, and I'm setting this thing up. I had just turned this thing on, and I was setting it down. I noticed that there was a clock right above where I was setting it down, so I was getting ready to move it. And then the owner of the home just moved the clock because she was smart enough to pick up, hey, this is making sound, let's get it out of here. And so we're discussing that real quick. And as we are, I hear a couple of voices come in. But if you're moving the clock, that'll be...
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. All right. We're still trying to talk to you. Can you come down here and talk to us, please? But if you're moving the clock, that'll be...
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. All right. We're still trying to talk to you. Can you come down here and talk to us, please? But if you're moving the clock, that'll be...
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
We're still trying to talk to you. Can you come down here and talk to us, please?
All right, so the first thing I hear is someone say, "I heard someone." Then it goes on to me asking questions, are you down here? Can you come down here and talk to us? Come down to the basement or whatever. And you hear this voice say, "Let's go," which sounds kind of male or also very disembodied. It's kind of gross sounding. And then you also hear a woman reply with yes in response to my question. So she's saying, yes, I can come down there.
But if you're moving the clock, that'll be...
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Alright. We're still trying to talk to you. Can you come down here and talk to us, please? But if you're moving the clock, that'll be...
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Alright. We're still trying to talk to you. Can you come down here and talk to us, please? But if you're moving the clock, that'll be...
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Alright. We're still trying to talk to you. Can you come down here and talk to us, please? But if you're moving the clock, that'll be...
Better?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Alright. We're still trying to talk to you. Can you come down here and talk to us, please?
All right, so this next clip, I'm going to cover both of these clips kind of at once with my opinions on what's going on. This next clip, again, it has that precognitive kind of sense to it. So here's the clip of the homeowner. She's asking a question. Right before she asks her question, you hear something.
Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? Is it okay that I'm here? Is it okay that I'm here?
It almost seems precognitive in the sense of like when the first voice comes in, it says, "Who is it?" And then she says, "Who," whatever the question is. They're not exactly the same question or whatever, but they kind of correspond with each other. And it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like it already knew what she was going to ask before she asked. Same thing with the second question. You hear a yes right off the bat, and then she asks, "Is it okay that I'm here?" And then again, another response of yes.
Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? Is it okay that I'm here? Is it okay that I'm here? Is it okay that I'm here? Is it okay that I'm here?
All right, so this next clip is one of those times where a question hadn't been asked for probably about 30 seconds or so. The homeowner and I are standing, we're in the basement at this time too, by the way. We're standing in the basement, and this voice comes in here at the very end of the clip. I definitely hear, in my opinion, what I'm hearing is a woman say, "Ask him." Here's the clip again. All right, so this last EVP that I'm going to play for you is, again, caught on my task cam and only on my task cam. I'm talking with the homeowner. You can hear her voice in this clip. So I made sure to put her voice in this clip so you could compare it to the voice that I'm hearing come in. So it's actually one of those that if you aren't listening carefully, you might miss it, but it's very loud. This is like class A EVP stuff right here. That's very, very loud. Sounds like another person in the room talking with us straight up. So here is that clip. I've had some pretty cool things happen with that.
All right.
Like, yeah, there was one where we had I've had some pretty cool things happen with that.
All right.
Like, yeah, there was one where we had I've had some pretty cool things happen with that.
All right.
Like, yeah, there was one where we had Okay, so yes, it was only one word if you caught that. What I hear is a voice come in that says but, or what maybe, but it seems to me more of a but. She's talking about butts, and I don't know why. Dirty girl. For real though, I'm hearing her voice just as louder actually than the homeowner's voice. And really kind of right up there. I mean, she's very loud, and I know that wasn't the homeowner. It's not even the same voice. It is a woman's voice, but if you compare that voice to her voice, you can tell that there's a major difference. I've had some pretty cool things happen with that.
All right.
Like, yeah, there was one where we had I've had some pretty cool things happen with that.
All right.
Like, yeah, there was one where we had I've had some pretty cool things happen with that.
All right.
Like, yeah, there was one where we had I've had some pretty cool things happen with that.
All right.
Like, yeah, there was one where we had Again, it's all speculation, but it was interesting to say the least to me and also to the homeowner. And again, remember that this whole video is mostly for the homeowner to really sit and watch and also share to her family and friends and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. All right, next clip is also the Estes method, but now we've got the homeowner doing it. And there was really only one response here. Well, there was a couple. There were two responses. So here's that session. There's a lot of time here with only two real responses, but I don't know. I just felt it was kind of interesting and interesting enough to share here with her as well. Anybody here that has something to say? If you're in this house, I want you to come down here into the basement and talk with us. Can you do that?
As you can see.
Okay. What's your name? Can you tell me your name? Are you mad that the moved in here?
No.
So what we're hearing here is I'm asking, can you come down here and talk to us? Is that possible? Something alluding to that kind of idea. And the response was, as you can see. So it was almost like they were saying, like, you can see I'm here, which I couldn't, but I don't know. Again, speculation. I could just be reaching and grabbing. I get that. But then at the end, I asked, are you upset that the homeowners are here? And her immediate response was no, which was pretty cool. Again, it just seems to me when you're using the Estes method that when we're doing this, these kinds of responses just seem a little bit more intense than if I were to just hear it through the spirit box. So that's why I'm including it here, and it also seemed interesting enough to share with the homeowner. But again, by all means, I welcome and I honestly just criticize away, because I want to get better, and I want to know what, especially skeptics, which I'm a skeptic. I am a skeptic. I know it's like, here I am presenting you with a paranormal video, but I'm calling myself a skeptic. I am. Like, I believe in this stuff to a degree, especially now that with the other documentary that I'm working on, I've got a lot of reason to believe that there's something else going on after we die. But, you know, when people say, hey, I have a haunting, or they tell me a ghost story, I always take it with a grain of salt. And I also understand that there's a lot of human error involved with paranormal investigations and stuff. And so I really try to just give you the bare bones of what it was that I found. It's a fun thing to do. I enjoy doing this kind of thing. So again, in spirit of, you know, the spooky season, I thought maybe it would be appropriate to go ahead and make a video like this. And again, it's completely up to the homeowner if you guys even see this. If you did get to see this, awesome. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a like. Comment, again, like I said, criticize away, or whatever you want to say about it. Like, please, I openly welcome it, for real. Like, I need it. So take advantage of the comment section below, like, comment, and if paranormal stuff is something that you're really into, my channel is not a paranormal based channel. It's a video game based channel, but occasionally I do kind of weird, quirky videos like this one. And, you know, I will be promoting the main documentary that I'm putting together on this channel. I will promote it. I'll probably put together a trailer when it's time for that thing to be released, but we're still a ways off from that. So if you want to stay in the loop with that and you feel like subscribing, by all means, go ahead. But I'm not going to sit here and beg you for a subscription because, you know, my channel is a video game based channel, and you know what I mean? Like, if you're looking for paranormal stuff, you're not going to find it here. But this is just on a whim, and I will have another channel set up for all of the paranormal stuff that I'm putting out. And whenever that's put together, I'll make sure to make an announcement about that for you as well. So if you want to subscribe until you can find out where else to subscribe, Inception, by all means, go ahead. I appreciate all of you for watching, and to the homeowner, you got stuff going on in your house, sweetie. Something's going on there, and I can't wait to come back to find out what else we can, because now we have a couple of answers, and we kind of know who we're talking to a degree, maybe. So take that for what you will. Figure out some new questions to ask, and based on the evidence that we have here, and I will see you next Sunday. And the rest of you, I will see you whenever I do another video like this, or whenever I put together another customized console, which someday.